My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Leos. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing a general love reading of 5 card spread. But before I do that, I want to offer these 12 red roses as a token of my love and appreciation for your love and support and devotion towards my channel. I love you all incredibly, and thank you so much for choosing me as your Vampire Tarot guide reader. So this 5 card love reading includes where the first card represents you, the second the other person, the third the relationship, fourth the past, fifth the future. Then I'm going to draw a Vampire Oracle for you, and then a Favole, and then one from the French Tech of Le Tarot Interdit Vampiria. But let's get started with card number 1, which is you. 3 of Scepters, my goodness. Fire City, you could also have a lot of Leo or maybe Aries or Sagittarius placements, but what I actually see I'm actually heading on, especially the single ones, but of course the ones who are in a current relationship. But let's start off with the single ones in this, yeah. So the single ones, what I see here is yeah, you're definitely heading out. You're definitely going out on the hunt. Of course, we are heading down towards your season. We still have Cancer season, in front of us, but what comes after Cancer, even before Virgo, is you. So I think, you're probably just thinking, okay, I want to actually go out on this voyage. I see you, yeah, just boarding the ship of opportunity, because if you see the ship in the background, that's pretty much what I see you doing, is you're heading out into this world. Now the thing is you could be single, or you could also be heading out towards new love. So again, taking how it resonates, I see you actually maybe actually more or less going on a personal journey, but you could also be heading out to find true love of that Mr. or Mrs. Right, of being the hunter or huntress in this reading. So, but I think, it's very admirable for the single ones who are definitely, taking action. You're actually heading out. You're trying new things. Maybe you're going to be going on courtship phases and dates and stuff like that. Okay, well, I want to wish you all the best of luck and just see where that may take you. And for the long-lasting committed relationships, I see you and your current spouse, husband, wife, companion, you're pretty much, going to go on more adventures together and stuff like that. So either way, I just think it looks incredibly beautiful for my wonderful fire signs. Let's see who the other person is or could be. 5 of Grails. Okay, I'm not allowed to show 5 of Grails. It could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but what I mostly see here is disappointment and disparity city. Right, so what I actually see here is, it's like you could also be heading away from, disappointment and disparity. Maybe, either A, you've been, rejected and refused long enough that you just think, okay, I'm just going to be focusing on my own endeavors, because that's kind of the, feel I got from this, is it wasn't per se heading towards love. But what I actually, get here is, you could have also, been through a breakup or a divorce, and maybe that's why, you decided to leave this whole, negative event or circumstance, and you're pretty much just thinking, okay, I'm going to take off and just head off. But either way, I just think, you're doing a lot of, healing, a lot of self-developing, and of course, I love the independence of a Leo, both male and female Leos in this world and stuff like that. But again, could also be that, yeah, if you're in a long-lasting committed relationship, maybe you could be facing, some current drama, or some, well, maybe some, current, problems between you and your current spouse, your companion, whoever it may be, and stuff like that. So I really hope it works out for the best between you two. But let's see what the relationship is or could be. Star. Okay, you get Star Wish Fulfillment. Wonderful. Now the thing is, it's like, why would you first get 5 of Cups and then, well, from the other person, maybe it is a wish come true that you both, actually, divorced or broke up from each other. Or maybe, it's like you've been through enough, negativity and disparity where you're heading out into this world and where you might eventually meet the Star Wish Fulfillment, whatever it may be. But I just think it's wonderful, just to even see a beautiful Star Wish fulfillment taking place in your life, nonetheless. And of course, it is a general reading, so it doesn't have to be resonating for everyone for that matter. Or you could even, be heading towards an Aquarius. Maybe you just had a breakup or divorce from an Aquarius. But either way, I just think this looks incredibly beautiful and promising. Wow, I want to know more about this. Because in the past, 10 of Grails. Okay, so you're probably currently with a beautiful Star Wish Fulfillment person in your life, because the 10 of Grails is happy home, happy earth, happy family. But it's also feeling incredibly confident in a single position about being, happy home, happy earth, happy family, and confident in your own body and flesh and blood for that matter. So again, take it how it resonates. And maybe, eventually you might find the star wish fulfillment, whoever it is or may be. Or either way, you could also be, now living in a star wish fulfillment. But I just actually see that it's, your current spouse, whoever it is probably your star wish fulfillment because you guys were already made for each other in the past. Wow. Because the future... Six of Swords. Okay, again, take it how it resonates because this also has mixed meanings because on one positive aspect, it could mean that you're going to be heading towards that person. That person could be heading towards you. Well, you both could be taking off, on your honeymoon, engagement, marriage, wherever it may be. But on a negative aspect, it is also that you're taking off and heading away from this whole, Five of Cups situation as well. So again, but I do love that you are, that you do get the star wish fulfillment either way. But I just think, okay, it's too bad about any kind of disappointment or disparity and stuff like that because from my 301 years of experience of being a vampire in this world is that relationships and humans on a general note, but relationships and marriages are, incredibly hard and complicated on so many levels. But yeah, hundreds of humans either manage to, make do with, their current, situation or they decide to think, life is just too short. I'm going to try to maybe, find an alternative means to make myself happy and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I see you, doing nonetheless, either way. Wow. Because what does Oracle want to add? Call of the Night, daring, adventure, and excitement. Now, on one aspect from this card, it could be that you're heading out because you're done feeling disappointed and despaired about either, dealing with negative experiences and stuff like that, and that's why you're boarding the ship of opportunity and heading out into the night. But it could also be, that you're just going on a solo, single, journey or adventure and you're in excitement mode and you're pretty much just say, okay, let's just see where this may take us and stuff like that. But it could also be your own personal goals, endeavors, whatever it may be. So, but I think, I love, that you're pretty much going out on the hunt and you don't have to be a night owl. Maybe you are, but either way, I just love that you're pretty much just, getting out there nonetheless. Wow. Because Favole wants to add Ace of Wands, Ace of Crosses. So what I see here is you're going to be putting a lot of time and energy into what you want, wish, and desire. And of course, it's a general reading. It doesn't even have to be focused on love or any kind of romance. But if you do head towards love for this reason, that's what I see you doing because I see you boarding the ship of opportunity. You're going to be going on this call of the night, heading out for adventures and stuff like that. Well, you already have confidence in the past and you're done feeling, disappointment and you are finally getting the star wish fulfillment. And maybe that's where you're putting your time and effort into. And then you could eventually, maybe even meet an Aquarius or Gemini or Libra in the future for that reason as well. But that's kind of what I also see is, you're pretty much, putting time and effort and energy into heading towards what you want, wish, and desire. Because, that's what both of these cards more or less mean, especially this one. Wow, I love that for my beautiful Leos. Because let's finish off with Le Tarot Interdit Vampiria. Ah, the Page of Wands, Cavalier de Pieux. So the Page of Wands is definitely heading out into this world, going out on this adventure, wherever and however it may be. But that's kind of what I see you doing, is you're pretty much releasing yourself from all the negativity. You just want to think, I'm done, living in a real, disappointed, life right now, maybe in a singlehood, or maybe you've just gone through a divorce or a breakup, and now you're just pretty much heading out as well. But either way, I'll take it how this reading resonates, because I do love that, this could also be, you heading towards your star wish fulfillment as well. Wow. I'm just so honored to be giving you one of the most beautiful readings I've done in the session so far. But anyway, sad but true, I wish I didn't have to stop here, but I'm going to have to leave it at here for now. But if this reading resonated for my beautiful Leos, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. I love you guys incredibly. In a few days, I'm going back to general readings, so for now I'm just doing love in general. But I'm also open for personal readings, and all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, post in the little discussion box below that you want a personal reading from me, and I'll respond to you with my email, and we'll start the process from there. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys incredibly and want to wish you all the best on where this love journey may take you.